Hi, my name is Justice Edeen, and this is my application interview for the Whitney School of Nursing at the University of Wyoming.
Describe a meaningful experience or difficult situation related to a course, an extracurricular activity, or in your personal life. Discuss how this experience exemplifies your ambition and enthusiasm for learning.
When I was 12 years old, I had my first kiss. Now, you may be asking yourself how this is relevant to the question, but please just bear with me. My mother had taken me to a festival, and I met a girl. We became close, and I had my first kiss. Shortly afterwards, she divulged to me that she was being sexually abused. I was obviously devastated for her and comforted her to the best of my ability. Sometime after, she excused herself to go to the restroom. Upon her return, I noticed that she was acting erratic and strange. I asked her what was going on, and she opened an Altoids container full of assorted pills and asked me if I wanted any. She quickly became unresponsive, and I carried her 200 yards to a medical tent to get treatment. Upon my arrival, the providers asked me what was going on, and I explained the situation to the best of my ability, and they proceeded to pump her stomach. Despite the emotional and rather traumatic turmoil of the situation, I remember being in awe of the individuals who were working to save her life. Thankfully, she lived, and the next day, one of the nurses requested to speak with me, what I now know is called a debrief. She was concerned about my mental state, but I was filled with questions about how and why they took the direction and actions that they did in that critical moment. It was my first experience with emergency medical situations, and although the situation was sad and frightening, I couldn't help but be filled with admiration and respect for those who stepped up and did what needed to be done to save a life. From that moment forward, I knew I wanted to learn how to be that person who could help others in times of crisis and be a bulwark against panic and fear. Not only helping those who are in immediate danger, but also to fill those around them with the confidence I felt in those healthcare professionals in that moment of total uncertainty.
Why is nursing the profession for you? How do your personal values align with professional nursing values?
I believe that nursing is the profession for me because its foundational tenets resonate with me on a deep level. I grew up very poor in a bad neighborhood, but I went to school at a science magnet school. I was the only kid whose parents were divorced. I was the only kid living under the poverty line. I constantly felt like I did not belong and was made to feel like I was beneath the other students or pitiable because of my circumstances. I felt judged based upon things that were entirely out of my control, and it caused me a great amount of shame and self doubt. I love the field of nursing because it is not our job to make value, moral, or character judgments about our patients. It is our job to care for them equally to the best of our ability and to recognize the humanity in each and every one of them. The experiences I had as a child made me want to always offer that to my fellow human beings, especially those who find themselves in precarious or vulnerable situations. I know firsthand what it feels like to be written off and want to work in a field where we do our utmost to treat every person with the respect and attention they deserve.
The field of nursing consists of working with healthcare team members from a diversity of backgrounds and experiences. Describe a time when you worked as part of a highly diverse team. How did diversity enhance the functioning of that team?
When I worked at Oregon Health and Sciences University, I worked in a very diverse team. We had people from all sorts of different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different religions, and different socioeconomic statuses. This melting pot of various experiences and backgrounds brought new viewpoints and considerations for decisions that were made in the department. For example, we were reorganizing the dispensary, and me and some of the other male employees thought the best way to organize it would be to organize it how the cases went. And this would mean putting a lot of stuff that we use regularly at the top of the shelves. Some of the female and shorter employees voiced their concerns that these would make their job harder because it's harder to get to for them. So we reorganized it and we decided to just put everything that we use most often in the middle and put the things that we used rarely towards the bottom or the top. This taught me that just because something is easier for me doesn't make it easier for the whole team. And if you want to maximize efficiency, you need to do so in a way that maximizes the potential of the entire team rather than just people who are like yourself.
Describe a time when you did not agree with a decision made by a boss, parent, teacher, or coach. How did you approach this and what was the outcome?
A time I did not agree with a decision made by an authority figure was when my supervisor made a decision that the call burden would increase after a staffing change was made. I approached this by speaking with her and voicing my concerns that this increase in call burden would cause higher burnout and eventually turnover, which would only increase the stress on the other staff. She listened to my concerns and let me know that she felt the same way and that this was not what she considered a permanent solution. Being able to voice my concerns in a professional manner allowed me to feel that I had done my part in communicating how and why I disagreed with this situation, and also let me know that she was aware of them and did not see this course of action as a long-term solution. Eventually, she did come up with a plan to bring in additional staff members on an on-call only basis to try and alleviate the call burden for full-time staff. I gained additional respect for her, that she was true to her word, and I feel like our relationship strengthened because of this experience.
In life, we are faced with situations where we do not feel a strong sense of confidence, and we question our own abilities. As a nurse, you will be faced with such situations. Describe a time when you were faced with a situation that challenged your confidence and sense of assurance.
When I first started working as a surgical technologist, I did a total joint replacement with a doctor that I had never worked with before. As the case progressed, I suddenly felt that I was 2 steps behind. I was scrambling, and the frustration of the surgeon and the first assist quickly became apparent. I managed to finish the case, but the surgeon said to me, "Definitely gonna need to work on that." I felt that I had let the team down as well as the patient. But the assist said to me, "Everyone starts out from zero. We all have to learn how to do this. It's what you do now that's going to define your future in this career." I took those words to heart. Rather than feeling sorry for myself or beating myself up, I reached out to my resources and support systems. I asked some of the more experienced techs to do mock total joint replacements with me. I studied the instrumentation, and I wrote down the step-by-step process of the procedure so that I wouldn't fall behind again. In healthcare, we are all thrust into situations that we feel we are unprepared for. It's how you learn and grow from these experiences that define you. Thank you for your consideration, and I look forward to hearing from you.